So I finally have an interview with a real Teamster. Matthew, you are the first Teamster I've interviewed. Tell me a little bit about what you do.
Well, the work starts at home. Feed at 6 a.m. every morning, clean stalls, and then at home is where the real work is. We drive every day, at least one or two teams. Usually each horse gets driven 3 to 4 times a week, and then come to a show, and we hope they've learned what we've taught them. Most of ours are older in season, and they know their job.
Well, with all that work you do at home, do you get to show it off in the ring? Are you driving yourself?
I do drive it, yeah. I drive the 6, the 4, the team, and then my grandfather drives the cart.
So tell us a little bit about the nuances of driving a 6-horse hitch.
A lot of people think that the hands are important, but your legs are really important. That's where all your strength comes from. You brace yourself with your legs, and then just kind of let your arms and hands be relaxed, and you're able to adjust the lines and stuff that way. When you first start, it's a process. You have to look down to see which line it is. But after a while, you get used to it, and you just know which line is which, and you're able to adjust.
How do you feel, can you put it into words through your hands, what your horses are doing, and then communicate to them what you'd like?
Yeah, it is. Most of it is through the lines. If you're tense or nervous, they can feel it through the line. If a horse is nervous or tense, you can feel that through the line. And you just try and keep relaxed up on the seat, and they tend to feed off from you.
How do you manage all of the lines in your hands?
It's just I run the wheel lines up through under my pinky, the swing lines up the next finger, and then the leaders, and then that gives my index finger free to adjust lines, and then from behind you can just keep pulling and letting out so that you give each horse enough space.
Of the 3 lines, is one more critical than the other?
No, they're all. Each one has its job. The wheelers are the ones closest to the wagon. They're pulling the whole load. Your swing pair is in the middle. You want them to help with assisting and turning and stuff. And then the leaders are out showing off and doing they're the hot shots of the group. They're the ones that get all the attention, but your wheelers really do all the heavy work.
So, for example, when you go to make a turn and you're communicating with your lead horses that they're to start to make that turn via the reins, do you then follow through on the reins with the swing and the wheel, or do they just follow the leaders in front of them?
Each horse is different. I have my swinger pretty good. I can pull on the leaders to get them to go through the turn, and they'll follow one way. The other way, I have to make some adjustments to keep that swing horse turning. And then as you get into the straightaway, you release and let them get back to their straightaway.
Who's this big beauty behind us, and what's his position on the team?
This is Q, and actually he's a spare in the hitch, but he's also his critical job is he's the youth horse. He does the youth cart and youth team that we just did. So he has a 13-year-old girl that loves him and drives him, and he does a good job.
Well, I can see why she's in love with him. Yeah. What makes him a really good horse to be a youth horse?
Just his personality. He's really easygoing, and actually he's better with kids than he is with adults. He loves it and loves the attention, and really does his job and knows it real well.
We were watching the classes earlier with the young drivers, and they look so little compared to the horses. Do you have more leveraging in the bits or different equipment for a young person to begin to manage and drive a horse of this size?
I don't, because I have a really good youth horse, and he just does. He knows that he's got a kid that he's entrusted with, and he really just takes care of her. There are some horses that you don't want a youth to start driving with, but actually the 13-year-old Shaylin that I have driving mine, I wouldn't have a problem with her driving any one of my horses. She's that good.
You came into working with Belgians through your family. What advice would you have for young people or even adults that would like to get involved as a hobby or a sport?
Well, first, just find someone that, if you really are interested, any one of us Teamsters and farms are more than happy to talk with people, give them some advice. I've had people come to my farm and just learn to drive some. Not everyone will do that, but there are people that will. It really is an awesome hobby. It's my way of life right now, and I love it. I wouldn't want to do anything else. It really is just a fun way to live.
Well, I'd have to agree with that standing here. So that's Matthew Deering, Donnell, Belgians, and thank you so much for your time, and we'll be rooting for you in the big class.
Thank you very much.